So did you hear it's Trump's birthday this weekend?
Yeah, big 79. Yeah,
I think we should do something big to celebrate it. What do you think?
I think we should have a big, beautiful parade. That's what I
Big
think.
beautiful parade. Big beautiful protest of illegals coming in. I think that would be great.
There's a lot going on for his birthday this week.
Oh yeah. Now apparently he is supposed to have this big military parade, like a Kim Jong Un or
Yeah.
Russian or Chinese Communist Party big parade. That sound like fun?
Well, I mean, that's not. He's not having it for his birthday.
I know.
He's having it for the 250th anniversary of the army, but it just happens to fall on his birthday. So I think that I mean, going one hand in hand. I mean that's probably one of the funnest birthdays he's gonna have.
I mean, I'm proud of our military. It is Pride Month after all.
Yeah,
so why not throw a little extra in there?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with doing that type of style of a parade. To be honest with you, I don't think we necessarily need to do what Nazi Germany did. And did I just go there?
Like parading tanks and like
right
and missiles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Take a page out of the playbook of the Chinese Communist Party and Russia and North Korea. Let's do that, and Iran.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a couple things to talk about. This weekend is going to be busy. Today is what's today? Friday the 13th. Uh-oh. Something's going to go amok. I have a feeling. Welcome to the Rude Barn Podcast, everyone. Let's get into this shit. All right, welcome to the Rude Barn Podcast. Who do I have over here, right?
I'm the Rude, baby.
I was Barn. I was just throwing a rubber bullet right in your ear.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right there. Just throwing it out there because you know what? You're going to get out of control, buddy. They're going to haul you off.
Yeah, I'm going to start waving flags and blowing rocks,
What's this guy doing?
Look, yeah.
Waving his Mexican flag, protesting. How would that go if I went down to, I don't know, Tijuana or Guadalajara or, I don't know, Puerto Vallarta?
Yeah,
Cancun?
They said that they would not put up with that. And you would be arrested. You'd be, what did the guy say? He said you'd be attacked and arrested, possibly killed. But I mean, spending a month or two in a Mexican jail might, you might have fun. You might not.
I have a feeling that would be the best case scenario for you.
Yeah.
If you did that shit down in Mexico and you took an American flag and you started, throwing shit at, the federales and you started doing all this shit down there and chanting death to Mexico.
Yeah.
How long for the world do you think you'd be, actually?
Well, I mean, I think that, if you don't want to live very much longer, then that's what you should do,
Yeah, it's a good way to end your life.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So it's interesting. I mean, we have a lot of people that are being brainwashed. I call them useful idiots. And I'm not just the only one calling them that. They've been called that for a long time. And the useful idiots are the people who are doing the dirty work of the overlords who are pulling the strings of everybody. And they want an agenda done. And so they're putting out ads like, okay, so this Christy Walton, the widow of one of the Walton Walmart family members who just passed away, she's gone rogue, apparently. And so she's funding this big, No Kings protests this weekend, and I'll show you a little ad. But it's kind of interesting. It's like these provocateurs are really pushing this out, and you have people going out, oh yeah, let's go protest Trump, and who's trying to get rid of all the illegals who are here, and these are good people. Yeah, just like the guys behind me who are just lighting shit on fire.
Yeah.
And
the good people that looted all the stores, and
oh yeah, feel free feel free to burn down the fucking cities again, because it's just like George Floyd
Yeah.
all over again. If you don't like something, you don't peacefully protest like your first, your God-given right to do is, and your constitutional right, I should say. But, you have these people always, and it seems that I never see it kind of the other way around, whereas the conservatives, people on the right, who have ever done anything anywhere near the degree of the George Floyd riots and now the ICE protests that you're seeing, and then this big, huge, I don't know, what do they have? A couple thousand, at least, organized events going all across the country. I also have a map showing all the dots on there, and there's been several hundred more that have been added since this came out, places that you can go because you're not really thinking clearly, and you're just falling right in line with the rest of the minions listening to the bullshit that is out there. And it is bullshit, because this is so organized. This is not organic, people. This doesn't happen just naturally where people are putting it. This was well funded, well organized, and put together to create havoc, chaos, and anarchy in our country, to destabilize us.
And then another thing, the gaslighting that went on, they showed, I've seen it a couple times, just a back-to-back picture of basically the J6 riots, and then, these LA riots, and they still want to say that J6 was like one of the worst days in history. Well,
right.
I mean, but you get nothing about this. You get no pushback. You get no, you don't get the leaders of the state saying, we need to stop this. There is starting a curfew, and you're going to be arrested and all this kind of stuff. It's just like, oh no, well, you get free reign to just go ahead and do whatever you want. But we're going to need the public to come out and help clean up graffiti.
Yeah,
we're gonna need that from you. I mean, are you serious? Are you serious?
Well, but these are good people. Okay, granted, there are some good people who have come here. They did not do it correctly. They did it illegally.
Right.
Who do want a good life. I get that. And I agree with that. But they still need to do it correctly.
A lot of these people are just, people that are, fleeing from whatever situation or whatever crimes they committed, and wanted to set up shop in our country. And then, they were given money, they were given gas cards, they were given food cards, they were given vehicles, they were given housing, and it's like a vacation.
How many countries around the world, other than the U.S., give free food, free education, free healthcare, free accommodations, free this, that, and the other, to flee their country, to come in illegally, not even go through the process of joining that country, if you want to call it that. Only here. I mean, we have a process of doing that, and a lot of people come here. They don't come here for the freebies. They come here for the opportunity. All right, well, don't we want the best people? Don't we want people who are going to contribute to this society? Don't we want people who really want to start a life, start a business, start just anything just to get away from where they're at? Give them that opportunity to be free.
We still participate in a immigrant situation, taking in immigrants and wanting to, give them a better life and show them that, here in America, there is opportunities, you know what I mean? If you assimilate to our culture.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. And if you want to commit crimes, and if you want to be a criminal, you come here with a criminal record, and then, and then just kind of want to hide out here. No, that's not what we're here for.
Well, there's methods for coming here legally.
Right.
And you have to do that. You have to do that anywhere you go in the world. Why is it that you just think you can come in here and then do this? And then when you come in and you're allowed to come in, like the Biden administration let 10, 15, 20, who knows how many millions of people in 4 years. And by the way, we do let over 1 million people a year come into this country legally.
Yeah, legal.
Name another country in the world that does that.
Well, you bring it up. I don't think, I think that people think they can do that because we've let them do that. Like this last administration or the last 4 years is just flood in, and barely even check them at the border.
Yeah.
And this isn't, and what people have to realize too is these aren't just Mexican immigrants.
No,
these are immigrants. Yeah, they might be coming over from that side of the border, but they come from Canada. You know what I mean?
China,
they come from
Middle East,
China. They try to come. Yes, our eastboard, and that's kind of the thing. But all these people aren't just Mexicans, and that's what really, really bothers me about these riots. You know what I mean? Because these Mexican people, who a lot of them haven't even been to Mexico. They were born here. They've enjoyed, the fruits of life here, and probably, not even their mom and dads were born in Mexico, but maybe their grandparents were. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they migrated over, 80 years ago or whatever. But at the same time, they're yelling and screaming, and half of these people that they're rounding up aren't even Mexican.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. They're other nationalities.
Yeah. So Honduras, you've got, Middle Eastern folks that are, criminals that they're rounding up. There's a lot of people other than, the Mexicans, and why they're doing this and wanting to, save these criminals is it's baffling and it's dumb.
There's some other agenda going on for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's we suspect it's probably to get the votes. You give people free this, that, and the other, and you're the Democrat Party, which is the party that's really doing this,
fueling these fires.
Yeah, you think that you're going to get the votes from those people because most likely. And if you have a majority like they do in California, and it's a super majority Democrat-run state, and you can see it, and we'll have a couple videos we'll show on here showing how just Gavin Newsom has destroyed my home state. He really has, and it pisses me off, and he's a piece of shit, greasy scumbag loser. He's just a creepoid.
Well, at every turn, you know what I mean? Every turn, he's just made a terrible decision on everything. I mean, you look at one of the videos that I think we have lined up too is just kind of showing how much money has put into was allocated, I guess, for their homeless situation over there. Which was in the billions.
24 billion, last I heard.
And then they still had homeless camps on the streets.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing. It's
actually gotten a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah. So if you're telling me that that's what you want to vote for, and you want 24 billion just to kind of float off in the wind in your state,
disappear. Bye-bye.
Then you're crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think though too, I think you're right. I mean, obviously, this is a psyop. You know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But they were going to, the D's who are fueling and funding these things. I think
probably some R's too.
Sure.
Yeah, probably for sure. Yeah.
But you look
mostly
at it,
D's. Absolutely.
And anything that they can do to create, a stain on his presidency, anything that goes wrong, you know what I mean? They're going to cite it in 2 years, in the primaries. They're going to be like, oh, well, look what happened here. Look what happened here. Look what happened here. He couldn't control this. He couldn't control that. And it's just for talking points, which is disgusting.
Well, and then you get the people who are on the right who are calling this shit out on the left, calling their shit out. They get no airplay because the Democrat bot media, and yes, it is the Democrat bot media, as much as some people out there want to not believe that. They don't air it, so nobody hears it. This is why we're here. I'm not going to show you videos right now today of all of the propaganda bullshit. There might be a couple that I might show in here showing oh, Trump's bad, orange man bad, and he's causing the escalation of the tensions in LA and elsewhere and all of this stuff, because you can just turn your TV on and watch the news and hear it left and right. What you're not hearing are the things we're trying to bring you today, and that's some of these other things. But the whole point of this is you're not going to see a lot of this, but you'll see the people, whether they're Mexican or not, flying a Mexican flag in the middle of an intersection while they're stomping on cars, throwing shit at, burning vehicles and other things, protesting death to America, we love Mexico and all that. Yet none of them are willing to ever go back to Mexico and live there.
Or back to their home state, whatever,
or wherever it is,
home country, wherever it is. Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing, and that's what is so stupid about it. You know what I mean? I mean, you're raising these flags in pride of the country that you fled and you don't want to go back to.
Right.
But you're saying death to America.
Yeah. Who's giving you everything you have right now?
Which makes absolutely no sense.
No. But the thing is, you've got the ability to peacefully protest, but once you jump on a car and you start burning shit down and throwing rocks at cops and et cetera, you're now a rioter. Mm-hmm. Okay? So this is the problem with this weekend, because we all have seen the lead up to everything that's going to happen tomorrow, Saturday, June 14th, Flag Day, Trump's birthday, and the No Kings protest. Now, I love the fact that they're always trying to call Trump a king, a dictator, a Nazi, Hitler, all this stuff, when they never called out Biden for disobeying Supreme Court when it came to things like, oh, we're going to pay off your student loans and you won't owe them, which he had no power to do, and leave the border open and be basically treasonous to this traitor to this country and allow open borders and the list can go on and on and on.
Well,
nobody said anything about that, right?
Oh, Biden. Yeah, same thing with Obama. You know, nobody even raised a finger or an eyebrow when he started deporting. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and he brought his policies. What was his big one? Is I can't remember his big kind of, you know, hardline speech on it, but it was basically like, if you come here and you don't do the paperwork, you're gone. Yeah. You know?
Well,
no one was saying anything then.
Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Obama, all these people prior to Biden and to Trump saying it, all said, if you were here illegally, you need to be deported. They would go find the videos. Go look at Obama wants to deport. Hillary wants to deport. Just look up something like that, and you'll see the videos of it. We don't have to show. You can look it up yourself and find all this stuff. So here's the point, and I'm going to get into this video because this is freaking awesome, and we need more sheriffs around the country like this, doing something like this. And I don't care if you're offended because what he is saying, and you'll sit here and we're going to laugh our asses off because it's freaking hilarious. Yeah. But when you get past the peacefully protest, holding your signs, sitting off the side of the road, not impeding traffic, not throwing shit at people and cops and other cars and vehicles that are just driving by, you've now crossed the line from a peaceful protester to a rioter. And these guys in Florida, this Florida sheriff, ain't having any of it. And so we're going to listen to what he has to say here, because this is what needs to be said across the country. Let's listen to what he's saying here.
It's great to be here on the Space Coast. I'm joined by a bunch of leaders that further exemplify why we are not and will never be California.
If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
Graveyard dead.
Not going to play.
Groups talked about assembling over the weekend. We haven't seen much of that in Florida, but if you do, these guys, the sheriff's office, Colonel Howes and the team, we are ready across the state.
I love it. I freaking love that.
I mean, that's Texas brand sheriffing right there. That's
it's just Florida.
Like, yeah. It's like, we will kill you.
We will kill you graveyard dead.
I like it.
If you don't fight fire with fire, and verbally at least, you're gonna get what we're getting. And I really am a little concerned for this weekend, which is a Father's Day weekend, by the way. How ironic is this, that this is basically putting Father's Day on the back burner.
Yeah.
And hiding it. It's like, once again, Mother's Day went off without a hitch, and great to celebrate Mother's Day. All you mothers out there, we love you and everything else. But we forget about our fathers, and now we're going to have this shit going on over the weekend that's going to overshadow Father's Day as well. And that kind of pisses me off a little bit, because you're a dad, I'm a stepdad, but I'm a dad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people out there who are dads. Do you not feel that this is kind of overshadowing your day, and we have to deal with useful idiots doing the minion work of the overlords who want to disrupt our country, throw it into anarchy and divide us all?
Yeah,
for their benefit?
If you are not a deadbeat dad, then, your main goal is to provide for your family and your children, right?
Yeah.
And when, the hard work that you put in, from, Father's Day to Father's Day, is kind of overshadowed and overlooked and really kind of, shitbagged. I think that the whole thing's shitbagged anyway. You look at, we talk about men's mental health. It's supposed to be Men's Mental Health Month. Well, what does it get overshadowed by?
Pride Month.
You know what I mean? And
your sexual orientation, what you do privately in your own bedroom, is now out in the open and overshadows Men's Mental Health Month.
Men's mental health, yeah. And so it's kind of like,
yeah.
and even if you're gay, men's mental health does apply to you as well.
Oh,
if you're a gay man, yeah,
yeah,
you need to work on your men's mental health. It goes across the board there. But yeah, I agree with you. When it gets overshadowed and stuff like this really kind of almost seems intentional to overshadow it. Yeah, then it's kind of like, well, what are we doing here? What's really important?
It's deporting people who are here illegally, which no one should really have a problem with unless you're the illegal,
right?
Or somebody who's hired the illegals, like landscape companies, things like that do. And you know what? I get it. You those are the people you can find to do it. But there's a way where we can get them some sort of work visa, green card thing easier, so that they can do this stuff, and do the work that we want. But they can't just come in here, always get paid under the table, not pay their taxes like everybody else has to when they get a paycheck. And just take the money and then send it back to wherever it is they're from. That's not right either. So here we are getting propagandized by the left, and here is our just a good buddy, Rachel Mad Cow, as I like to call her, going in here and throwing out her propaganda about this whole thing. And she gets a couple little snide comments in there, but you have to kind of hear a little bit more about what they're doing on the left to hear this, and then we'll go through and we'll really kind of hit things that you're not seeing, and maybe it'll give you a different perspective if you haven't thought of it, which a lot of these people who are there considering they're useful idiots going out there and doing their dirty work for them and creating the chaos and the havoc. This is what's happening. But here's what Rachel and many others on the mainstream media are saying about this whole thing, and then we'll talk about other stuff that counters.
It's Flag Day. Happy Flag Day. It's also President Trump's birthday. It's also the day of his big North Korean dictator-style military parade in Washington.
There we go.
Tanks and guns unloading this afternoon outside Washington, D.C.
And I don't necessarily really agree with doing that type of parade like we talked about off the air earlier before we got in here. It just seems a little dictatorial in a sense. But I know he's celebrating the, 250th anniversary of our army?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So in a sense, that makes sense if you really look at it. Or you can look at it through the lens of dictator Nazi style parade that the Communist Chinese Party does.
Right.
And I totally understand how you would get to that conclusion. But let's listen to more of her little propaganda.
You see, look at that. Saturday is also the day organizers are planning the next very large nationwide day of protest against Trump. And
it's also the day before Father's Day, like we just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to get missed there. Anyway.
What Trump is doing to the country, even as Trump panics and inexplicably calls in the military.
Did Trump panic inexplicably and then call in the military?
inexplicably
and called in the military,
what couldn't you explain about that? Gabby wasn't doing his job.
allowing all these people to do this shit.
He was allowing all these people to do this shit. Obviously, the car fires are going on. They started looting businesses. What's unexplained about that?
Your guess is as good as mine, dude. This is the gaslighting. Just like it's mostly peaceful protests, as the fucking buildings burning behind them.
Over protests in Los Angeles. This Saturday's protests are being organized by a large coalition of groups and grassroots organizations.
Okay, people, do you get it now? They're even saying it here. It's being organized. Look at this whole list of companies, and I have a tweet that has a list of all of these companies and all these organizations that are putting this on, that are funding this in various ways, and a lot of them are doing it legitimately. Meanwhile, some of them that are mixed in this whole list here are funding bricks, cinder blocks, Molotov cocktail, who knows what it is they're doing. But that's what they're also funding.
Organizers in all 50 states, all across the country. They're calling it No Kings, the No Kings Day of Defiance. They said this today, quote, the No Kings mobilization.
Didn't we call Biden he was a dictator, kind of did what he wanted to do. He was kind of a king, or the puppet master who was, pulling his strings.
He was a puppet for the king. Yeah.
On June 14th were already planned as a peaceful stand against authoritarian overreach.
Peaceful stand against authoritarian overreach. That's fine. You can do a peaceful stand against authoritarian overreach if you think it is peacefully. Right?
Yeah. And if you do it peacefully, you're allowed to do that.
No problem with that. Protest away peacefully. But once you start throwing bricks at cars driving by, I swear to God, if I was driving through one of these things and I didn't realize where I was at the time and all this shit, and then all of a sudden somebody throws a freaking brick in my car and breaks a window, or God forbid it hits me while I'm driving, or anybody I know, anybody else, that's where we've gone way over the line on this.
It's way too far.
Yeah, exactly.
Gross abuse of power this administration has shown. Now, this military escalation, meaning what's happening in Los Angeles.
It's a reactionary escalation to the escalation that you people have allowed, Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, and so on. And that's just there. It's all in several thousand places across the country now.
Only confirms what we have known. This government wants to rule by force, not serve the people.
Rule by force when you are tearing down a city.
Right.
Not
who's
when
ruling by force here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Who's trying to rule by force?
It's childish tantrums is what we're doing. You're not getting your way. Therefore, you don't go the proper route through the courts or whatever else. You just, let's burn shit down. We should do that to get our way.
What is the way that they want? The way that they want is to harbor illegal immigrant criminals. That's what you want?
Yes.
That's your end goal? I
That's
don't believe this shit. Well, and that's another thing too. It's like, okay, well, you organize this No Kings thing, so that's a completely different agenda than what where these riots came from. You know what I mean? Which again started out as peaceful protests that turned ugly. And that wasn't even the reason why they were doing it. You know what I mean? The No Kings, fighting tyranny, and all this kind of shit. And you see these people, interviews on the street about these people, and they can't answer more than 3 questions because they seriously don't know why they're there.
Right.
It's like, well, fighting Trump's tyranny. Well, what has he done that's been tyrannical?
Right.
I don't know. Here, read my sign.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's ridiculous. Let's a little bit more of her, and then we'll move on.
From major cities to small towns, we will rise together and say we reject political violence.
but we're okay with street violence.
Yeah, but you're okay with street violence,
Right?
and you're okay at throwing bricks and rocks
We
at
reject
officers and government vehicles. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
we reject political violence, but we're totally fine with throwing shit at windows and looting and burning down buildings and everything. Totally fine with that. That's good.
That's not violent.
No.
That's peaceful.
That's a peaceful protest mostly.
Yeah.
We
Mostly.
reject fear as governance. We reject the myth that only some deserve freedom. On Saturday, June 14th.
What do they mean by that? That only some deserve freedom? Are you talking about people who are here illegally, that they should be free also? They could be if they go through the proper channels like everybody else who's doing it properly.
Yeah. And criminals don't deserve freedom.
Right. Once you stomp on my rights to exist as a human being for your benefit or agenda, you are no longer living that freedom dream that we all have.
No.
It's fucktards.
More than 1,800 rallies will take place across the country, peaceful, organized, and united.
2,000 or 3,000 now.
The No Kings movement has posted a map online showing where those 1,800
Look
plus
at all
rallies will be held. I should tell you, and I think this is important, of those 1,800, more than 100 of those have been added to the map since Trump announced that he was sending the National Guard into LA.
I mean, yeah.
That shit wasn't organized, by then. That's bullshit.
Oh, yeah. No, this shit was organized a hell of a long time ago. This was organized a hell of a long time ago. Just to show you, here's a little list of some of the groups again that they went through that are funding all of this across the country. Not all have good intentions. Oh, look, there's Bernie, Mr. Oligarch himself. And look at this list, Dem list. Do you see any really Republican groups on here? Oh, Common Defense. I don't know who they are, but maybe, but you can't listen to the name. Fair Share America. It's all of these names, just like the Inflation Reduction Act and affirmative action and all these things are just oxymorons, really. Yeah,
and they just reek of blue.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it is absolutely asinine that we have this shit going on, and I'm not against protesting if you have an issue with the government and what they're doing on either side. Mm-hmm. Feel free, by all means, but you must do it correctly, and you are allowed to legally, peacefully protest peacefully. Don't jump in the front of traffic, in front of cars, don't lay down into the streets, don't throw bricks, don't everything else we talked about. But the minute you do that, now you've crossed the line and you're a rioter at that point.
Yeah.
So
here's
some more with Caroline Leavitt talking about the foreign flag, No King's Day stuff that she's going, and this is just where we start. This is stuff that you're not really seeing, but let's just hear what she has to say, and I'll move on, and we'll kind of crank through a bunch of these.
Flags being blown during these protests. There are protests and activities being organized for this weekend. Part of it are Democrats saying they want to reclaim the American flag.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay, sure.
It's also being considered No King's Day. Does the president see himself as a king, and does the White House...
That stupidest fucking question you've ever heard in your entire life.
Yeah.
Does the president consider himself a king? Yeah, he's going to tell you, yeah, I feel like a king. He's never ever mentioned anything that he was I'd be a dictator for one day, I think, and it was a joke, but you people don't understand what jokes are.
Well, yeah, they're going to take everything and run with it, and it's just like, you see over and over and over again in the media, these talking points, whatever it may be, they call him Hitler. And then you've got 50 or 60 different reporters who's like, well, yeah, he's looking like Hitler. And then, he's looking like Hitler. And that's going to be the Mockingbird shit. That's exactly what's going to go on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Expect to see American flags being flown during these protests this weekend.
The president views himself as the president of the United States of America. This is a
You
constitutional
moron.
republic, and we want to see all of our citizens be proud of the country in which they are given the privilege and the blessing to live. And I think that those images of foreign flags being waved with by illegal criminals and by violent rioters in the face of cars blowing up and of flames in the city. I have photos of that here to show you with this violence and destruction that occurred is an image that Governor Gavin Newsom owns. This is his city, and President Trump saw these images and he said that is not going to be accepted or tolerated, and hence why he deployed the National Guard and United States Marines who have helped to quell that violence.
Because Newsom wasn't doing anything himself to quell the violence.
No, he wasn't. He sat on his hands for 48 hours. You know,
like a freaking moron that he is. But I'm so great. I want to run the country.
I don't know even
Into
think
the
that
ground.
he knew it was going on until Trump called him.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I
he
mean?
was podcast, dude. Remember?
Yeah,
You
just
know,
gonna-
like we are.
He's got podcasts to do, bro.
But he's very important. Has to get his podcast in as well. So here's another guy. He's talking about stuff, and this kind of brings to light kind of the things that are going on. Where if you don't believe that this is not organized to be violent and has been bought and paid for to be violent, let's watch a couple of these, because here's some stuff that you may not know about. Let's check this one out.
Hey, I'm here in Springfield, Ohio, and this is Heritage Plaza, where a rally is coming up in a couple weekends, speaking out against what's going on with the Haitians here in Springfield, Ohio. I heard there were pallets of bricks, so I came to see for myself, and there are lots gone already. But anyway,
Wonder where they
today,
went.
Tuesday.
Somebody building
Guys,
a wall.
you should always be highly suspicious. This video is titled "Don't Attend That Rally in Springfield." But guys, when you see pallets of bricks showing up where it doesn't look like they're doing any brickwork, this seems to be a progressive thing that is encouraging people to get violent. You might want to reconsider, but that's up to you folks.
Well, remember during George Floyd riots that the protesters who got arrested were magically and mysteriously granted bail, and then their charges were magically and mysteriously dropped, and nothing happened to them. Well, if you know that's going to happen, do you think that you might continue doing that particular behavior and maybe even escalate it? Because hey, I'm going to magically and mysteriously not get charged.
Well, and that was barely even a slap on the hands.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and none of this shit is new. When we're talking about the pallets of bricks and things like that, here's a video that shows this happened back during George Floyd, and it's happening again, and it probably happened before. We just didn't hear a whole lot about it, but George Floyd started it. And here's where you got people walking down the street. Oh, what's behind here? Does that look like a pallet of bricks? Dude, why would a pallet of bricks just be dropped off in the middle of a street?
Middle of the street.
Nothing to see here. We're doing some brickwork on the side of the. Oh,
Bro,
there's some
they
more.
got them bricks, bro.
Yeah,
They are protesting. Shit crazy.
shit crazy.
Some random ass bricks, bro. Ain't no construction.
Yeah.
Ain't no construction, bro. Just some random ass bricks in here.
And more, and it goes on. And I'll have these videos in the link for you so you can check them all out. It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? It's just so weird. So here's another one. And you remember those. You remember all those bricks and everything, right?
I know.
Yeah. And it's happening again. They're being strategically placed in the middle of streets, in the middle of nowhere, where there was construction going on. And I wonder what those bricks could be used for. I have no idea. Let's check and see what he's talking about here, because you might have interesting. This is a short one.
I've been saying all week there is a distinct difference between protesters and the looters, and tonight more evidence that these looters are organized. New York City police sharing this video. They found bricks and rocks hidden in strategic places across New York City. Those bricks and rocks used to break the windows of stores in all 5 boroughs, they say, including in the Bronx.
Yeah, weird. Wonder what they're doing in the Bronx with that. Bizarre. Here is some more. These are it's just amazing. This shit. And this is stuff people don't see, you don't realize what's really going on here. You know, let's listen to this. Move ICE out of the way. Do you people not realize that a lot of these illegals are trying to come in and take some of the jobs, especially of the people who are of lower income, who are looking for some of these jobs? Look at the Palestinian headdress.
Yeah, the headdress thing. Yeah.
Oh my God. These people are fucking morons, dude. Oh, afraid of COVID?
No, just masking their identities.
Yeah, of course. Oh, here we go. Oh, COVID must be horrible these days. This is from Chicago. ICE out of New York City. The synapses do not fire with these people. These people, I bet you there's a handful of these people, or maybe a bunch of these people that are getting paid to be there and telling all their friends to come out. And so, so a lot of these people aren't even getting paid. They're just morons. They're not even smart enough to get paid, at least, right?
Right.
And so they're coming out to do these protests and all this and doing all the useful work. And you know, the stupid chants, you know, that they blurt out are just asinine. And you just have to wonder, are you that stupid that you want to allow millions upon millions of people who are not supposed to be in this country taking your taxpayer dollars, if you even work at all, and they're the ones that are benefiting from it and getting free healthcare, free food, free everything because you're a moron?
Yeah,
it just is amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mind blowing. You know what I mean? How just ridiculous and backwards, you know, these people are thinking.
Oh yeah. I mean, here's some more. They're showing the. I'm going to turn the sound off so we can kind of talk over this as we go. But you know, the National Guard was deployed because Newsom and Karen Bass in L.A. didn't do anything, and has been allowing this to happen, just like they allowed George Floyd riots to happen. And you know, look at this. Now he's getting in front. I hope you get run over by the cop. I really do.
What the sheriff in Florida said. He said if you try to stand in front of a government vehicle or police vehicle, you will get ran over and dragged.
Yeah, and we won't prosecute you for it because they are impeding your ability to move around freely as you're supposed to do. And then these people are on the freeways and they're doing all this shit. It's like, oh my God, you wonder why people are getting pissed off. And we're going to show a couple videos here in a second that is going to show all these people who are getting pissed off with this whole thing. And a lot of them are of Mexican heritage, Mexican descent, who are pissed off with this whole thing. Now, here's where we've crossed the line again, more of it, I should say, of peacefully protesting turning into riots. And here it says protesters throw cinder blocks at police bridge in LA. You know, I'll just keep the sound off because you don't really need to hear any of this. All you have to do is watch it and see what's happening. See, look at that. Okay, that shit's being thrown off there. You could kill somebody with that.
Yeah.
And, you know, and like, what the fuck are you people thinking? You know, and it's just pure. This is just pure insanity of what's going on. So here's the California mayor. I shouldn't say California mayor. The mayor of LA, which she probably thinks she's the mayor of California, right under Newsom. Yeah. But Karen Bass, who's really a moron, who really screwed up everything that was going on with the fires back in January, is going on here, and then they talk about different things. This is one video. Let's check out what she has to say here.
And so I am calling on business leaders, community leaders, faith leaders to come together downtown in the next few days to talk about how we are going to clean up the city.
Because she doesn't know what to fucking do.
Yeah.
All got together and decided.
Yeah, she's an idiot. And this guy calls her out. This is awesome. Yeah, listen to this.
Collectively, that's your fucking job. Did you not know that? Did you not know that cleaning up the city was your fucking job? Because it kind of seems like you don't know that. And in which case, what do you think your job is? To quote John C. McGinley, what would you say you do here?
Pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
Here's another guy talking about stuff, and these are videos that you sent me, and I thought they were classic. These were awesome. So we're gonna play them all because that's what we do here. Check this out.
Isn't it funny that back during COVID, California authorities were arresting people for walking on the beach?
Yep, we did a video on that.
Peaceful protests going on. By the way, this whole thing reeks of a psyop. It's not a real protest.
Yep.
Let me show you. I came across this little Craigslist ad from a few weeks ago. It says, looking for the toughest badasses in the city, Los Angeles. We are forming a select team of the toughest dudes in the area, but you get paid every week no matter what. High pressure, high risk, no room for hesitation. We need individuals who do not break, panic, or fold under stress. That was written by a Fed. I can just tell. Meanwhile, this guy's got a PFLP headband, an armband for Palestine, and a Mexican flag as he burns a car. Like, this is not real. This is that makes no sense. Look at all Peter Thiel's minions. They're all saying the same. This is not real, folks. You know, isn't it fun?
Do you people who think that this is a great thing to be doing and going out and quote unquote protesting this weekend, do you think this is what it's all about? You have this moral obligation to stand up and do this when this shit's being bought and paid for, and it is a psyop against you, against us, the American people, Democrat, Republican, Independent alike. You know?
Well, it just makes me, I guess, sad for that generation and maybe even sad for, our future, because, these people have been so easily manipulated.
Oh my God. Yes.
And, without even knowing what they're getting into, you know what I mean? Just going with this thing. And I think that it's really sad. To see how people can be manipulated and people will get
so easily too.
Anything. Even if they realized it was a psyop, they still are going for it because they've created some sort of I guess fake purpose in their head for what they're doing. You know what I mean? And it's asinine.
I think you hit it right there. They think they are doing, I don't want to say God's work here, but they think they are doing the people's work to keep somebody who they feel, and maybe in some occasions, some particular instances, rightfully so. There are some things we question Trump on what he's doing and why he's doing it, but you have to go about it the right way, and you're not going about it the right way. But you people think that you are doing the work of the people, for the country, and you're actually really only doing it for people who want to really destroy this country from within, dividing us, turning us against each other, distracting us from the big play, whatever that big play exactly is. Maybe to be completely in control and keep us under their thumb and not allow us the freedoms that we have, because people who are free are a threat to people who are in power. And if we continue to push back against all of this stuff, they don't have the power. And so if they can convince people that the people who are quote unquote in power right now, trying to keep the freedoms, or we hope trying to keep the freedoms for us, and quash them and put them down in their place, they'll have the mass people uprising against this, doing their dirty work, and they don't have to fire a shot. We'll do it for them.
Exactly. And that's kind of, you get these minions and, these sheep to do your work, your dirty work for you. And then they still come off looking like,
it wasn't us.
Like the good guys.
Yeah. It wasn't us. And so here's Maxine Waters, who, how old is she? She's like 90 and she's still in freaking Congress. Term limits, people. Term limits. We need to stop this crap. But listen to this bullshit that she's spewing out here, and the gaslighting and the hypocrisy that she spews. Listen to this shit.
And even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so when martial law is called, what are you going to say? I missed the point. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because...
And what is that point, Maxine?
They called out the National Guard. There was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know.
There was no violence.
From downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people, what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw.
The few incidents that you saw. Is that the biggest gaslighting mother effer you've ever heard in your entire life?
It's astounding, dude. And I think that, I think that it's funny because she's minimizing violence to nobody getting shot and nobody getting killed. Right. So if no one got shot or killed, then okay. there was zero violence, right?
Zero violence, right?
But I mean, looting stores, threatening business owners with huge rocks, busting out windows, doing this kind of stuff. That's not violence. Setting cars on fire, throwing bricks and rocks.
What does she consider violence then?
Yeah, that's not violent.
Yeah. What does she consider violence then? That's not violence there.
Yeah, so the only thing that she considers violent there, I mean, judging on her statement right there, is someone getting shot, or somebody getting killed.
Right.
That's the only thing that is chalked up to violence.
Well, it's so ironic because wasn't it the same group of people that were saying words are violence? Right? Your words are violence. And it's threatening me and my safety. Your words.
Yeah.
But this is okay. Throw rocks and all that. That's not violent. But words are violence.
Yeah.
So here's this guy. He kind of puts it all into perspective. So if you think you're doing the Lord's work and the people's work by going out and protesting, and you think you might turn it into violence and you're going to follow some of these people. Because if you are going out to protest and you want to do it peacefully, but you know damn well this shit's going on, you might want to rethink your decision to do this because you're not adding to anything. You're actually, good. You're adding to everything that is wrong about this whole thing. So here's this guy, and he kind of puts it in a way that really kind of makes a lot of sense. So let's listen to what he has to say here.
To me, if I support the protests that are going on in LA, I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Y'all motherfuckers out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown fucking tantrum. Like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America. In a country that gave you the fucking freedom to do that shit. You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop. You ain't El Chapo, you're Chris from Pasadena. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Half you motherfuckers protesting ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage and a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted. I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag while shitting on the country that gave you the fucking freedom to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to fucking Mexico unless it's for spring break. Right. In Cancun with a passport you got from the U.S. government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash.
Yeah.
Your 7-Elevens, your air conditioning, and your freedom to scream dumb shit without a cartel rolling up on your motherfucking ass. And let's be honest, ain't nobody screaming death to Mexico while flying an American flag through Guadalajara. You know why? Because that's how you end up in a back alley, starring in Cartel TikTok Season 3. Meanwhile, the rest of America is sitting back watching you block freeways during rush hour, destroying businesses, wearing $300 fucking Jordans, screaming about injustice in the city with the most social programs and diversity hires in the fucking country. Y'all are the political version of throwing a Molotov cocktail at a fucking Prius because you're mad about gas prices. So listen, I'm not mad you're passionate. I'm mad you're dumb. And your dumbass behavior is helping the other side more than a Trump rally in Texas with free brisket. Every time y'all riot, loot, tearing up your own shit, you're just birthing another red voter. So yeah, I support the protest. Keep fucking going. Keep flying flags of countries you ain't got the fucking balls to move to. And shitting on the system that literally gives you the right to shit on it. Someone asked me if I...
Right?
Yeah, I mean, he nails it. I mean, at how dumb they are. You know what I mean?
The theme today, if you look in the crawler, useful idiots. That's what you people are who are going out and supporting this, because even though you might be holding a sign off the side of the road, not doing anything, and literally peacefully protesting, you're now lumped together with this whole movement. Okay? And you're not really helping to push the cause that you want. You're pushing another cause that you don't realize you're pushing, which we mentioned before.
Yeah. You're a part of something that is bigger than you, that is really a bad thing. It's not a good thing.
No.
And you're not realizing that is really kind of the sad thing.
Yeah.
And why I still say you're sheep, you know what I mean?
You are sheep.
Easily manipulated, and like that guy said, just throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
You know, and for when they say that Trump is overstepping his bounds by throwing in the National Guard and the Marines to cover this, this is a state run by Gavin Newsom, who hasn't done shit. And this gal, this report, I think she's a reporter or she's just doing an on the street thing or whatever. She kind of hits it about everything that's going wrong in California and shows it to you standing right beside her, right behind her, and points it out. So let's listen to what she has to say, because she kind of nails it. And this is what you people need to understand. Gavin Newsom is a piece of shit.
I'm in downtown LA, Skid Row, and I want to point out a few things that's gone on here in the past few years. In 2023, Gavin Newsom set aside $750 million to build tiny homes for people just like this that are surrounding by me. Somehow that money is gone. In 2019, they set aside $24 billion to go towards the homeless. Somehow that money is gone. It's unaccounted for. I want to talk about a few politicians from here. One is Nancy Pelosi. She's been serving these people since 2007. Her net worth is over $120 million. Another person here, Maxine Waters, she's been serving the people here in California since 1990. Her net worth is over $10 million. And Gavin Newsom, who knows what his net worth is, but we know he is building a $9 million.
Let me correct her. Nancy Pelosi's net worth is not 10 million. It'd probably add another zero at least onto that.
No, she said Maxine Waters was.
Oh, Maxine Waters. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I misunderstood. Maxine probably is worth more than 10 million as well. I think she and Nancy are pretty tight in what they do, because they've been serving in Congress, both from California, for 173 years, I think it is. And so they know how to work the system. And I guarantee Maxine Waters is making, is worth more than 10 million. But let's move on.
Dollar home in San Francisco, California. There are leaders, the leaders of California. They failed these people here in Los Angeles and in California. California has actually been one of the highest states in America that people have fled from. Over 66 million people have left California in the last few years. And yet Gavin Newsom, he's out there holding a podcast when he should be working on his state. He might be making a run for it in 2028. And I hope people remember this that's behind me.
Yeah.
I'm in downtown.
I mean, it's...
What's he gonna run on? How shitty he can run a state?
Well, he'll polish the turd, dude. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
he'll put lipstick on the pig and say it's a fucking beauty queen.
I don't even know. I mean, if they'll even give him the vote. You know what I mean? As far as his own party to get up there and run because of this nightmare.
Well, he's failed.
They're trying to gaslight it anyways, but what do they try to do with the fires too? They try to gaslight that too. I was like, when there was no water.
Yeah, he's failed on in so many areas. He's failed in the homeless. He's failed on the fires. He's failed on the water situation that's supposed to come down. He's failed on gas prices. He's failed on home prices. He's failed on pretty much everything he's touched. He is the opposite of Midas. Everything he touches turns to shit.
Yeah. Well, you know, how do you just not do your job? I mean, what does he do? What is he doing?
Well, his job is to extort money from the populace and benefit himself and make himself and his family ultra wealthy.
Well, what did she just say? He's like, yeah, but he's building a $9 million house and and probably
Bay Area somewhere.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what your priority is.
That is what his priority is. Yeah, he's a piece of work for sure. Here's another one that you sent me that this guy also nails it, and there's a couple more there's one that's like 3 minute long, but he's American and Mexican heritage, and he is not happy with this either. But let's listen to this guy and this other one first, and then we'll play that one. This guy's really good.
Hey, libtards, explain this. Please explain why there's a Los Angeles County Craigslist ad that says they are willing to pay anywhere from $6,000 to almost $13,000 for very strong and brave men. No wonder why these people ain't moving. No wonder why they're not backing down. No wonder why they're not going anywhere. It's not because they believe in the cause. These fools are getting paid to do it. No wonder when the riots started, they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew what to fill their backpacks with. They knew which places to go to assault officers. They knew everything before even showing up.
And they knew they weren't going to get arrested either or charged with anything.
It sounds political, if it looks political, and if it feels political, it might be political. But no, I mean, Democrats are not willing to pay people to go do their dirty work for them. It's not like they get funded millions upon millions of dollars every year for protesting and human rights and propaganda. Organizations like Act Blue, which not only governs some of these rallies, but also helps get the right people for the right jobs. And you want to know why all of this is public? Because they know that your mind is so twisted by their rhetoric that even if they slap you in the face with their information on what they're doing, you still won't believe it.
They'll spit in your face and tell you it's raining. And
well, there was flyers just kind of like strewn about everywhere on the ground, and it picked it up and it said what to do in case of a riot.
Yeah.
You know, and there were simple instructions, and one of them was hide your identity.
Yeah. And
you know,
isn't that interesting?
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Don't get caught. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So here's another guy. Also, this is not the one I was going to show. It's the one before this other guy, but same type of thing. And this guy hits it because he's of Hispanic heritage as well, and he is not happy with this. And you know, obviously, Make America Great Again hat on. This dude gets it. Let's listen to him.
You know the difference between you entitled fucks today that are immigrants compared to the immigrants that are boomers and Gen Xers? The boomers and Gen Xers came to America and assimilated to the American way of life and wanted to live the American dream.
Yep.
While you little pendejos of today, you want Americans to assimilate to your invasion. I'm gonna tell you right fucking now, that's not gonna happen. At this point, you guys have managed to push away people who were supporting you once, who were advocating for you. No. At this point, I don't give a shit. If you get deported, your abuelito, your abuelita, your tío, your tía, your primos, your fucking next door neighbor, I don't give a fuck anymore. The minute you were disrespectful to my country on my soil and burned my flag, showing all kinds of levels of disrespect, bitch, we match energy over here. Fuck you and everything about you. This message.
Amen.
All right, there you go.
I mean, I support this guy. This guy's a Mexican heritage, it looks like. And he's my brother. Well, I'm concerned.
I mean, I think he was. I'm not exactly positive his story, but I see him a lot on that certain page. It's called Latinos with Trump, and I see him a lot there. And he, I think he was born here, but I mean, he's got the right mentality, and he's got a lot of good information, and it really just goes to show that he knows the reality behind it. You know what I mean? He's not fooled.
Yeah, right. And same with this guy I'm going to show you right now. Yeah, because it just goes back to that old analogy that I've used and I've said several times on everything we've talked about. You're standing in line in Disneyland to go on the Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever, and you've been waiting for an hour or two in the line, and then all of a sudden here's a group of people that just walk right past you, get on the boats, and they're going down the ride before you.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the F is going on here? Yeah. And that's what these guys are. These guys are people who either came here or their parents or somebody came here legally, did it the right way, got them into it, and they're proud to be here. They're proud of this country. They may love their Mexico and their Mexican heritage, and you know what? Good on you. Absolutely. You should. But you also should love the country that you live in, that you wanted to be in. If you don't want to be here, get the fuck out.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, your parents or your grandparents or whatever, they came here for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what you're doing is you're diminishing all that hard work that they put in, all that time, all their struggles to get here and do it right. You're diminishing all that work because you're self-entitled idiots.
It's a slap in the face to these people.
Is.
And it's a slap in the face to us who've grown up here and been here for generations as well, or even if it's only 1 or 2 generations, we're here. We're proud to be American. I'm proud to wave the American flag, and it doesn't matter who's in office, whether I hate them or love them or anything in between, I'm still going to be proud to fly my flag of the country I'm from, because that's what you do. You don't sit here and just because you disagree with somebody, like we disagree with Biden pretty much wholeheartedly and disagreed with a lot of what Obama had and Clinton and even Bush, and even Trump. But I'm going to sit here and still fly the flag and be a proud American, even though my leadership may not be the best, I think. But I'm not going to sit here and riot and burn down a freaking country because of this shit and have an unbelievably organized event going on in a weekend, which damn well it's going to turn into major riots, major destruction, and people's businesses who are innocent of this whole thing, who are just trying to make a living, are going to lose their businesses. They're going to get shit stolen. They're going to get their places burnt down. They're going to lose everything because you pendejos, are destroying it for a reason you have no idea even what you're talking about. Yeah. So here's another gentleman of Mexican heritage as well, who freaking nails this shit. And this is something that all you people who are going out, to protest or to peacefully protest need to think about. You got to listen to this guy because you have to understand what is going on. Look at the bigger picture.
You guys are an embarrassment to the Mexican culture and to the United States culture. You guys are an embarrassment to everybody around you.
Here is a Mexican. He is a Mexican American, as I understand it. This is a random video that was going viral over the week, or just yesterday. And here he is he's a proud American, obviously. And here he is calling out the bull of these crazy, psychotic, jihadist, anarchist nutbags.
So let me get this straight, just so I could clarify it. You don't want to go back to Mexico. You're protesting to stay away from Mexico. But you're waving the Mexican flag and you're waving it with pride. You're waving it in the United States, the country you're trying to stay in, the country you don't want to leave. But yet you're waving the Mexican flag with pride. Okay. That seems normal to you? That seems logical? That's not stupid at all? None of that's stupid. All right. You guys are an embarrassment to the Mexican culture and to the United States culture. You guys are an embarrassment to everybody around you, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Do better.
All right, so that video was just going viral, and of course he's pointing.
Yeah, I mean, he gets it.
Yeah.
And these people need to freaking understand this shit, what they're doing, and they don't get it. And here's the thing: there's enough people getting paid to do this that are pushing this agenda by the people who are funding this whole thing. And we'll show you that in a minute as well. But this guy is in New York City, and I love this guy because he gets it. He's proud. He's not going to be bought to do all this shit. And listen to what he has to say, because just like these last couple ones we just showed, this is where it's at right here.
I just got offered $200 to go protest ICE right here in New York City. There's an organization called The Kings. Basically, on June 14th, they're going to have a big protest. They're recruiting people, telling you people where they got to go, what streets to be in. They're also going to be delivering bricks in case they have to defend themselves. The craziest part is
in case they have to defend themselves.
You'll be provided with a lawyer.
That's what the bricks are for. I didn't realize
to get you out of jail. Like, this is insane. Now, since I'm Latino, they probably saw me as an easy target, mostly going after Latinos like me. But what they don't know is that I'm a legal immigrant here, and I would not sell on my country for $200. Actually, I will not sell on my country for any amount. Amen. Because this country has given me so much to me and my family. There's no way I'm going to sell out. But think about all the people who need the money right now and take a debate, to go protest. This is some scary crap. I mean, the fact that you have to pay people to go protest is insane. And people are going to fall for it because people do need the money.
Just like they had to pay people to take the COVID shot. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
How wonderful is that you had to pay people? How wonderful is this protest that you have to pay people to push this agenda for you? That's the same. It's the same thing, right? Same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly the same thing.
And there's a couple more things. Yeah, he has a couple more things, and we'll move on to the next one.
What do you guys think about this crazy scam? And did I do the right thing by refusing to sell on my country? Please leave me a comment below.
No, dude, you did the right thing, and amen on you.
Well, and he's right. Selling out the country. You know what I mean? For a measly $200, what is that going to get you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's gonna get you a stain on your face because now you're gonna be known as someone who sold out their country for a measly $200 when you had no skin in that game.
Yeah, well, it's $200 a day from what I hear. I mean, that's $4,000 a month or more if you are doing this 7 days a week, and it will last a month.
Yeah.
So some people, that's a lot of money just to do this shit, just to do what this guy's doing right here. This is, I love this. This is classic. Yeah. Watch this. Somebody's pissed off. Fuck you.
Deep cleaner. Yeah, disrespect my law enforcement, and guess what?
Yeah, you disrespect my law enforcement, and this is what's happening. This is where they're peacefully protesting. Yeah, that looks pretty peaceful to me. Isn't that awesome? Right there. That is just classic right there. Peacefully protesting. And then here's some more. These officers, they're searching for illegal. Just the fact that these people are trying to support people who are here illegally. Who the hell are you?
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell are you that you would do this shit? It is baffling to me that you would do this shit. I mean, oh my God.
And to force this hand of bringing in the National Guard. You know what I mean? You wouldn't quit. You kept poking the bear. Guess what?
Yeah.
You're going to get your ass shoved just like that.
Just like that. Bitch. I mean, it is unbelievable. Oh, this is the, I should have left this up there. This is the one that you were talking about. That's classic. This is one of the funnier videos I think we've seen here. Let's see. It's this one right here. Pepper ball, tear gas after Trump rally, downtown Phoenix. I don't know when this was, but it's just funny because it's the same type of thing. And you just saw him get shot right in the chotch. And he goes down like, good shot, dude. Good shot. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ultimate, fuck around and find out.
Yeah, when the cops have to do this, here, let's look at this one more time. When the cops have to do this, you are no longer peacefully protesting. I hope you people start understanding. Oh, right in the judge.
It's like, you deserved it, man. What are you doing?
Yeah. Buddy, nobody has any sympathy for you. Nobody has any sympathy for you. Let's see here. So now here's one with the stellar mayor of LA, Karen Bass, and her reaction to what Trump says about her. This is classic because she's not all there. I'll tell you that right now.
I just want to give you a chance to respond to what President Trump said today. And I know you've been in meetings all day. You may not have heard some of it, but he
Been in
gave
meetings all day.
a prolonged speech
While shit's
at
going
Fort
on in your
Bragg, in
city.
which he talked about what's happening here in Los Angeles. And when he was referring to you, Mayor Bass, and Governor Newsom, I'm going to quote it because I don't know if you were fully connected and you could hear it. But he said, I'm quoting him, they're incompetent and they paid troublemakers, agitators, and insurrectionists. They're engaged in the willful attempt to nullify federal law and aid the occupation of the city by criminal invaders. I wanted to give you...
Real quick, do you think she had no idea before this reporter was telling her that Trump said all this? Or do you think she already knew the second he said it?
Yeah, I think she already knew.
Yeah. And she comes out with that. Oh, is that what he said?
you a chance to respond to that.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that he said we paid for the violence to take place? Is that what you just said?
No, he did not tell you that you paid for the violence. He's saying these organizations and other groups paid for the violence. Not you, Karen. He didn't say you paid for it. He said these organizations are paying for it. There's a difference. Idiot.
I'm just quoting to you what he said. It is, as Arthurson Holmes reported, sometimes unclear exactly what exactly he means or is saying, but that is the quote of what he said.
Well, let me just say it is absolutely absurd that either myself or the governor would be supportive in any way, shape, or form to the vandalism and the violence that has taken place in our city. I guess he has not heard any of my comments or any of my press conferences.
No, he has.
Because I have been abundantly clear that what is happening.
Not just clear.
Abundantly? Really?
Abundantly clear. Just in case you're wondering, abundantly clear.
On our streets is unacceptable.
Then why didn't you do anything about it, you stupid ass?
Exactly. Why did you say that it was all peaceful? Why did you deny it? Why did you gaslight on Saturday and on Sunday?
Because you're a gaslighting mother trucker.
Dude. I mean, I don't think she knows where one lie ends and another one begins.
No, because it's a constant. It's a constant lie. Well, PBD has a little comment on this whole thing real quick. And
you tell me if these guys are paid or not. Go ahead.
I'm just documenting you guys putting all your protest stuff in a van. It's very nice of you. How far did you travel to come to protest today?
It's not really your concern.
It's not really your
concern. Well, you had like a van full of stuff.
Well, you
wearing
might know that
masks.
there's a road here.
Yeah, no.
Roads are great for transporting things and travel.
Okay, tranny.
Just, I can videotape on a sidewalk, so.
No, I'm going to stop you from videotaping.
Yeah, I'm not going to interrupt you guys.
Yeah, I just want to film the van showing all
everything in a van. And you're getting really mad about it.
Paid for it.
No, that looks really suspicious.
I'm just trying to make sure that you have, all the answers that you.
Are you guys paid?
No.
How much did Soros or Reid Hoffman pay you to come protest? Come on. Was it good? Did you get paid well?
Watch these guys. You tell me if these guys are paid.
Wow. Yeah.
If you people don't think that this is not all bought and paid for, your head is in a dark place, whether it's the sand or up your ass, because you don't really realize what's going on. This is not organic. This is not just grassroots.
Well, you saw the Joker there with, she couldn't wipe the smile off of her face.
Oh, yeah.
The Joker, Karen Bass there, because she knows it's a psyop. She knows it's an inside job. And whether she just wears a Joker smile all the time or whether deep down inside she knows, and it's just she's wearing it on her face.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. So here's this little story. So it's not just coming from me. this, or us, this is a local news station talking about the Walton heiress, the Walmart widow, funding this whole thing. And let's show you what they found.
And to this, Walton family member Christy Walton paid for a full-page advertisement in the New York Times this weekend promoting the nationwide anti-Trump protests.
So the ad called on readers to, quote, mobilize on Saturday. Now, Walmart sent out a response saying the statements are not connected to or endorsed by Walmart. It also stated that Walmart's focused on the safety of its associates and customers in the Los Angeles region.
So she pays for a full-page ad. I'm not saying she's inciting violence, but she's inciting people to go out, and knowing full well what's already been happening in the last few days prior to this ad coming out. You can't tell me that she didn't think that when she was telling people to participate,
mobilize,
that she didn't know what she was doing. Of course she did.
Don't you think, like, even like if you held some sort of, precedence somewhere, and we're doing good things with your money, don't you think you would put out a full page ad and say, hey, don't go down there, don't add to the violence, don't potentially put yourself in harm's way,
protest,
stay at home, let our local and federal authorities handle this on their own.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Don't add to it. You know what I mean? That's what I would have done if I had that kind of money.
Exactly. And here's another article from the Daily Caller talking about how a well-funded, organized leftist groups have helped jumpstart the LA riots. Oh, that's oddly enough the same photo I used in my background, right behind me, right here. They did that on purpose. Go figure. I'll admit it. So it goes into, it talks about the well-funded activists and coordinated social media campaign helped spark the pro-illegal migrant protest. Pro-illegal migrant. Is that a cause that you want to put your name behind, that your face behind, or unless you're wearing a mask, of course, then you're not really putting it out there that you're supporting anything. Left-wing groups posted a call to action, a location to gather on Friday in unison after arrest of local blah 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 blah. Okay, and then it continues on and talks about this whole thing. Service Employees International Union. They wanted to kick off a tumultuous weekend by getting arrested during ICE raids Friday morning. Isn't that wonderful? They wanted to help kick off a tumultuous weekend by getting arrested.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't sound like mostly peaceful protests to me. I don't know about you. The DOJ alleges Huerta tried to obstruct federal agents. See, now we're obstructing. Actually, there's ways to go about it. When you get a ticket from an officer, you don't fight with the officer and say, hey, I wasn't speeding. No, he's just doing his job. And if you weren't speeding, you go to the judge and you plead your case that you weren't speeding, and he decides yes or no. That's how that shit works. Same thing here. Here's this little call to action. Yeah, ICE is conducting a series of raids in the Los Angeles area, now all over the freaking country. Many workers were arrested outside local businesses. We're fighting back. Yeah, apparently you're going to burn shit down because that's how you do things when you don't agree with things. Like this. Things like that.
Yeah, they're arrested outside local businesses, so let's go burn the businesses down.
Yeah, because those business owners.
Yeah.
F those guys.
Steal computers.
Yeah.
Steal sushi shop.
Yeah. Here's another ironically named organization, the Coalition for Humane Immigration Rights. Well, isn't it bullshit? Coalition for Humane Legal Immigration Rights, maybe?
Yeah.
Or is this illegal immigration rights? Should there be another I in there? CHIIRLA.
Yeah.
It's just, Union del Barrio and Centro CSO. I mean, Democratic. Oh, here we go. What does that say?
Socialists of America. Wow.
Do you people not see what? Mostly peaceful, though, by the way. Oh, here's another one.
It's good and peaceful.
Party for Socialism and Liberation. Liberation from what? Freedom?
So I have something for you.
Okay.
And this is just kind of off of I looked this up the other day, and I wanted to run this past you and just kind of see your thoughts on this.
Okay.
And it really just kind of it's perfect timing.
Yeah. I haven't heard this before. We haven't talked about this prior, so this is
I'm
real
dropping this right on porn. Okay. Definition. I'm not going to tell you, what I'm reading you the definition of, but I want you to opine on it for a minute. A political and economic ideology that advocates for classless, stateless society, where the means of production are collectively owned and resources are distributed according to need. It envisions a society where everyone shares and benefits of labor equality, and there's no private ownership of means of production. What do you think that is a definition of?
To me, it sounds like it could be a couple different things, which are probably all very similar and probably exactly the same thing when you drill down. Communism, socialism, fascism.
It's communism. But
yeah.
Doesn't that sound like everything they're advocating?
Yes. See, socialism and fascism are just forms of communism. They're the softer side of Sears, if you will.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing.
They're really kind of hammering down on these kind of ideals.
Yeah.
Yet they're calling Trump a communist.
Right.
They're calling him Hitler. They're calling, him a king, wants king status.
Yeah.
But in saying that, they're advocating all these communistic ideals. And I don't know if they realize it, but it's pretty fucking funny to me, to be honest with you. It's so ironic and it's so funny that they are not even only awake to their own bullshit.
No. That's what I mean. They're all what we are calling here useful idiots. And we're not the only ones calling them that. Because that's exactly what it is. These people don't understand the definition of communism, socialism, fascism, or anything else really. Totalitarianism, authoritarianism, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. They don't understand that all of these terms are for the government to control the people and to own everything, and for individuals not to have anything of their own. World Economic Forum, remember? You will own nothing and you will be happy.
You'll be happy about it.
We'll be happy? What do you mean we'll be happy? Because I don't own anything, which means if I don't own anything, somebody can come in and take my shit anytime they want.
Well, they're going to make them feel like they're protected, and they have this little nest that we've provided.
Oh, yeah, we'll protect you.
You know what I mean? And that's the scary thing. You know what I mean? They will create violence and destruction, and then they will say that they are going to protect you from it. It's the fear mongering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get you scared, and get you attached to our government's protection over you, and then that's where it starts.
Yeah. And I'm just going to scroll through as we're talking of these little posts. And we the people say no kings. Yeah, we don't want kings. We didn't want it before with freaking Biden either, or Hillary. We didn't want it from Hillary. We didn't want it from anybody else either. So it's we get it, people. We get it, and we agree, but we also disagree on how we're going about it. And this is just ridiculous. So we'll end on this last one because this is a hilarious clip that you just sent me right before we kind of went on this one. And it just goes to show you this is kind of what's going to be happening this weekend, which is kind of sad, but let's just check this out.
In the face! In the face! The face!
That is classic. That's pretty much perfect to end this segment on today. So, well, we hope we entertained you a little bit. Please go to therudebarn.etsy.com. Check out our store. We'll throw some more merch up. I haven't had a chance to add some more stuff yet. We will. Been busy the last couple of weeks, so this is the first episode we've done in a couple of weeks. So, and we'll get back on the saddle and do some stuff. But check out that when you can, and also check out The Bearded Viking, or Bearded. Is it Bearded or The Bearded Viking?
It's The Bearded Viking, I believe.
Bearded Viking. I'll throw a screenshot up there.
I think it's just Bearded Viking.
Yeah. Do that. So check out those guys. They're awesome. There's some mead products and everything. But we appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully this lends a little bit of a twist to the story that you're hearing on the news everywhere, and realize that this is not organic. This is not happening grassroots wise and naturally. This is being provoked. This is being paid for. This is being organized major organization to have this shit happen all across the country.
Yeah,
I mean, it's props for them for doing this. It's too bad they can't use their power for good.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah.
So anyway, gang, thanks for joining the Rude Barn podcast. We appreciate you stopping by. Check out our next video coming up here soon, and we'll talk about the next topics of the day. So have a good one. Question everything. Question authority. Question all of this shit you see, and see if we can figure out what's real and what's not. Have a good one.
Later.